Hello everyone, welcome to Pushpa's English classes. Today we are going to do 100 dresses part 1. I've already done 100 dresses part 1 first video. So this is in continuation with that. So please do check the previous video to have better understanding of the text. So we'll get started with the other part of 100 dresses part 1. This part of the text tells us that, Maddie did not like the business of asking Vendor Petronskis how many things or what are the things that she possessed. Not because she was concerned about Vendor Petronsky, but Maddie was poor herself. She also used to wear hand-me-down clothes. The only difference between Maddie and Vendor Petronsky was that Maddie did not live on Bogins Heights or have a funny name. Maddie was not very comfortable teasing Venda, and when Peggy used to ask Venda those questions in that mocking, polite voice, she would silently count the marbles in her hand, pretending to play with them. So when Peggy starts asking those questions to Venda Petronsky, Maddie pretends to play with marbles because she was not very comfortable asking her those questions and having fun with her. If that dress game had not been invented, Maddie would not have known about the existence of Venda Petronsky. She felt uncomfortable not because she was concerned about Venda, but because she was worried that she could be the next victim, although she was not senseless enough. So why I am referring to her as senseless, because it's given in the text. I would read that line, you know, um, but she was poor. Of course, she would have more sense than to say she had 100 dresses. It's given in the text. So what does that mean? Although she was not senseless enough to say she had 100 dresses, Maddie still wished that Peggy did not tease Venda Petronsky. Venda did not come that day, and after having waited for her so long, Maddie and Peggy got late to school. Maddie was very happy secretly that they could not get a chance to make fun of Venda Petronsky. Maddie was lost in her thoughts and she could not study properly. All this time, she kept thinking about writing a note to Peggy, to tell her to stop making fun of Venda, which she planned to write after doing her arithmetic, because she knew she doesn't have the courage to tell on face of Peggy. So she plans to write a note to Peggy. She wanted to write a note because she knew she did not, have the guts to say it on her face. While writing the note, Peggy, Maddie shook at the imagination of her being the new target for Peggy and the girls. She was afraid that they would ask where she got the dress from, which was actually Peggy's dresses, right? So Maddie's mother, she got it transformed with new laces and ribbons so that none of her classmates could identify it. So I will read out those lines from the text. She pictured herself in the schoolyard, a new target for Peggy and the girls. I have underlined it in this slide as well. Peggy might ask her where she got the dress that she had on, and Maddie would have to say that it was Peggy's old ones that Maddie's mother had tried to disguise with few trimmings here and there. So you get a question from this part of the text. Did Maddie write a note to Peggy, and why did she tear that note later, which we'll come to know in the next part of the text. In this part of the text, we have an answer to the question, why did Maddie tear the note that she wrote to Peggy? So here she says that, she wished Peggy could stop, having fun with Venda on her own. Suddenly, Maddie ran her hand through her hair as a gesture to drive away all those thoughts. And she said to herself, Peggy is the most popular and the liked girl in the room, her best friend. And so she could not be wrong. Thus she tore and threw that note away. She was also afraid of losing her friend Peggy. After, Maddie had cleared her thoughts about confessing to Peggy, she started thinking about Venda Petronsky. She thought that Venda was just another girl living in Bogins Heights who hardly spoke to anybody. She also remembers when Venda talked about, her pale blue dress and jungle green dress paired with a red one. The girls made fun of her by saying that, she would rather look like a Christmas tree in that dress. So I'll read from the text. And should remember another that was brilliant jungle green with a red. "You look like a Christmas tree in that," the girls had said in pretended admiration. So while thinking about Wenda, Maddie began thinking about the drawing contest in which the boys had to design motorboats and girls had to design dresses. Peggy was the obvious winner of that competition because she was the best artist in the room. She could copy exact pictures and portraits. She was very sure that Peggy would win and results were to be announced the next day when everyone would know what's what. So the day when the results were to be announced, it was raining lightly, and thus the two best friends, Peggy and Maddie, ran quickly to school without waiting for Wenda. Generally, they used to wait for her at the Oliver Street that led to Boggins Hyde, the place where Wenda lived. But they did not wait that particular day because they wanted to hear the result to be announced by the teacher. Even if it wasn't raining that day, they would not have waited for her because the day was crucial as the results were to be announced. So I will read out few lines which I have just explained. So basically I have explained everything from this page, but still I would like to read out few lines, the last part of it. The next day it was drizzling. Maddie and Peggy hurried to school under Peggy's umbrella. Naturally, on a day like this, they did not wait for Wenda Petronsky on the corner of Oliver Street, the street that led to Boggins Heights. And today they were not taking any chances on being late today because today was crucial, important, as the teacher was going to announce the winner of the painting competition. In this part of the text, we learn that, both the best friends, Peggy and Maddie, they enter the classroom, and then Peggy is seen asking Maddie if the teacher, Miss Mason, is going to announce the result or not, to which Maddie said yes. Maddie told her that, she believed Peggy would win, but to their utmost surprise, when they entered the class, there were drawings all over the room. The colors, the drawings were very bright and brilliant, and that left everyone in awe. These were the drawings for the contest. Miss Mason announced the winners after everyone had settled. Amidst the boys, it was Jack Baggles who won. He drew an outboard motor, which was displayed in room number 12, along with drawings made by other boys. She then talked about, other girls' submission. She mentioned that there was one such girl who had submitted 100 designs, each so beautiful that the judges felt that any one out of them was worthy of the gold medal. Miss Mason very proudly announced Wenda Petronsky as a winner of the competition. I will also read out the lines from the text. As for the girl, she said, although just one or two sketches were submitted by most one girl, and room 13 should be proud of her. Because Wenda Petronsky used to sit in room number 13, this one girl actually drew 100 designs, all different and all beautiful. In the opinion of the judges, any one of the drawings is worthy of winning the prize. And the teacher announced with utmost pride and happiness that Wenda Petronsky is the winner of the girls' medal. In this part of the text, we learn that Wenda has been absent from school for some days and is not here to receive the applause that is due to her. So the teacher mentioned that Wenda has not been coming to school since days, hoping that she would be there the next day. So she instructed everybody to look at the flawless collection, to which everyone applauded and whistled. Maddie and Peggy, they even saw the blue dress that Wenda had talked about. It was beautiful. Peggy sighed. I quote from the text, I wish I could draw, which means that the drawings left her in immense admiration. So this is how the text ends, part 1 ends. I hope you have understood the text. This text is a very beautiful text which talks about perspectives. What I see, I think, I feel is very different from what others might see, feel and think. I hope you have understood the text so far. If you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. In my next video, I'm going to do 100 dresses part 2. Take care. Thank you for watching.